Founded presents Triumph, India's leading virtual career fair for diversity. Discover over 5,000 jobs at companies that celebrate you. Find a workplace that's equally yours between the 12th to the 14th of November. Enroll now.
Good evening to the listeners. Returning to work as a woman can often feel like balancing on a tightrope. There's anticipation, excitement, and sometimes even the weight of new and unique challenges. Yet each return is also a triumph, a testament to resilience and adaptability. Today, we are here not only to address these challenges, but to empower and inspire women who are navigating their way back into the workforce. Welcome to day two of Triumph 2024, India's largest virtual career fair focused on diversity and inclusion. Triumph is dedicated to creating equitable opportunities for women, LGBTQIA, and PWT professionals across industries. My name is Priya. I lead the talent acquisition team for Founded. I'll be the host for the event. As a part of the Triumph Connect series, today's theme centers on empowering women and building networks that support their career journeys. Our session, Navigating the Challenges of Women Returning to Work, will delve into the unique obstacles and opportunities faced by women re entering the workforce, offering strategies for success and resilience. Guiding us through this vital discussion is Monica Majithia, who brings first hand insights as a returning professional herself. She restarted her career in her 40s at a time when women are thinking of leaving the workspace. She joined as a protern, a professional intern, and upskilled to add to her professional profile. A returning professional and a senior team member at Shiro's, Monica is dedicated career coach, POSH trainer, and a founding member of the Shiro's Counseling Helpline. With extensive experience in career and skill building, Monica is committed to empowering women on their professional journey and advancing gender equality. Thank you so much, Monica, for joining us. I really look forward to learning from your experiences.
Thank you so much, Priya. It's such a pleasure to be here. And I'm so glad to be a part of your program. I'm so glad to be a part of this conversation, which I feel is really needed. Space. So thank you, Founded, for really bringing this to the fore. Thank you, Founded, for taking this forward. And I really hope this is going to be as impactful as Founded's other programs have been.
Yes, absolutely. Look forward to the discussion ahead, and I hope the listeners also get to know a lot about this. So, starting before I get into the detailed questions, why not start with your journey itself? I think a lot can be learned from how you thought of returning to work, and how was it like for you? What were the challenges? What were the opportunities that you had?
So when I joined Priya, there was very little conversation around women returning to work. And I think like most women returning to work, especially after a long gap, there was a total lack of confidence. There was a total blank out in terms of where to begin. I didn't know what to do, where to begin. Also, coming from counseling and a psychology background, I didn't want to go back to the academic space, what I'd been trained for. I didn't want to go and become a school counselor. I was very keen to join the corporate world, but I didn't know how. Luckily for me, someone talked to me and put me in touch with a platform for women, which was Shiro's at that time. And in fact, they had a mentor page. So all that I'm talking about really underscores what is it that women need when they're looking to get back into the workspace. So I just spoke to one of the mentors who happened to be a founder of Shiro's, and she called me over to have a conversation with me. And after speaking to me, she offered me a role as a professional intern.
Okay.
So that is how I began my journey. Shiro's at that time was talking about things which very few people were talking about that time, giving women the opportunity for freelance work, for work from home roles. It was advocating more flexibility for women. And because as we started on Shiros, and I began to organize workshops on them for them. And that is from where how I grew. I think with a lot of support from team members, and I think as we converse further, I'll delve back into my own experience because I have seen there's a lot of synchronicity between what women still are looking for and what I went through.
Right.
For me, I think what really helped was that absolute determination that I have to make a go for it. That come what may, I will do what it takes to get back into the workspace. So I was ready to learn. I was ready to leave all questions of how and why behind. I just went with the learner's mindset and ready to look for every opportunity to. So we started the Shiro's helpline, and I got an opportunity to talk to a lot of women who were in similar circumstances, and also, navigating various career roles. Of course, the counseling helpline has grown further to include personal relationship problems as well. From there, of course, I began to do more community work, work on different projects on behalf of Shiros. So I got an opportunity to work with UNDP, with McKinsey, with various other entities on various programs. And over time, I upskilled. I, added to my qualifications, certifications, and eventually I began to work as a POSH consultant. So I did my certifications as a POSH consultant. And today I'm working as a trainer, POSH trainer, and an external member on the ICO of a couple of organizations. I also am still involved with, giving career advice on the Shiros platform, on the Glow and Lovely career community that we have.
Okay, perfect. So, what I understand and gather from the conversation is first, you were also very clear on what you wanted to do. You had clarity that I don't want to go back to what I had, previously done in school counseling and all that. You had clarity in terms of what you wanted to do, and you researched. You looked for help, and that's how you found about Shiros. And obviously, people must have helped you through your journey, and it has taken you where you are right now. So it's very important for females who are now looking at coming back to work, to be very clear on what they want, and they do a thorough research on how it will help them reach where they want to reach. If just for the listeners, I'm just trying to rephrase everything so that they are also clear in terms of, especially the females who want to now start again, these two things will be very important, that what should be the next path for them.
So I think very important, like you have also articulated, is that you need to be very self-driven,
Yes.
very self-motivated. That inspiration has to come from you. You may not always have the hand-holding. Of
Yeah.
course, comes like this, which are telling you the way forward, but you have to craft your own way forward. So what is very important is to have a growth mindset.
Yes.
You absolutely must be willing to grow. You absolutely must be committed to proving yourself. You absolutely must be ready to deliver.
Right.
And you absolutely must be willing to say no excuses.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah, so that professional commitment is what you need to bring. And so a lot of times, I think when you're returning to work, a lot of things which hold women back, and this is what we have also seen, is that at least 20 to 30% of women who are looking to return to work drop back, precisely because somewhere that they're not self-driven, they're not self-motivated.
Right.
So it's not going to be easy navigating the whole career space again, but if you're determined to do it, you can.
You can. And you also mentioned about the fact that there is often lack of confidence in females when they want to, get back to the career journey, because they don't know, maybe they are struggling with the fact that whether they'll get acceptability in the, job market or not. How is the workspace now vis-a-vis how when they left it? So a lot of questions. So always self-doubt and lack of confidence is something that we've seen in females when they want to, restart. So how did you deal with it, or how, what is your suggestion to the females who would want to get back to work? How should they probably train themselves and try and come out of it and just go for it?
So the lack of confidence, believe me when I say that even a woman who's taken a year back from work has the same lack of confidence which a woman who's taken a 10-year gap would feel. You feel that total disconnect. So it's very important, firstly, if possible, plan your career breaks. If it's done in a planned way, it's easy to navigate your way backwards or back into the workspace. Secondly, it's very important to remain connected. So look for peer support, look for community support, reach out to platforms, join a professional network, reach out to women-driven platforms, get onto professional networks like LinkedIn again. Reestablish your connections, with your former colleagues. So that will help you ease out into, so that you know what to expect, you know what changed while you. So I think that is very important. Of course, as I often say, very important is to add to your skills, especially if you've been in tech. And especially in today's world, where we see AI making such great strides, and roles become redundant so fast. So be very sure of where you are and from where you need to begin. So that is very important. Also, I would say, have a lot of courage. Don't be afraid. You may need to, rebrand yourself. You may need to sometimes even switch careers. You may even need to make another decision. You can even look for careers, alternate careers, which have some sync with what you were doing earlier. Don't be scared to step. That is very important. For that, you need a solid community support, solid peer support, professional support. And if you can join a professional network, if you can look for mentors who can guide you through, reach out to women who are on returnship programs. So in Shiro's, we have a community for returning professionals where women can share their experiences and help each other. So I think these kind of stories are very important for us, because it's very motivating, it's inspiring, and it helps you move forward.
Yeah, because it also makes the person feel that you're not alone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there are people who fought through these challenges and have come
Absolutely.
up.
And I
So
think
it is,
something like what yes.
yeah.
So Priya, generally what you feel is, instead of feeling like a duck out of water,
Yeah,
you begin to feel that yes, there are more others there who are like you.
exactly. Yeah. So you
That's
drive motivation from the people
yes,
around, from the peer group, from the support system community that is there. Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, it's always helpful in any facet of life, I feel, not just job. So, in terms of how can companies also try and eliminate this stigma around women, with career breaks? So they often face during the recruitment. I'm from recruitment background, so I also understand. When you put across a resume with a career break, a women, to a hiring manager, there are a lot of questions. They doubt whether the productivity would be up to the mark. The person might take time to deliver what is expected from the role. So how do we try as an organization to break through that stigma?
I think firstly is to normalize career breaks. Please know a woman's career graph cannot be the same as a man's. Women
Right.
are facing and they are multitasking. They have to, be in multiple roles. So
Yeah.
you cannot have an upward trend. It's more like a up and down trend. A woman may take not just one, she may take two career breaks in her lifetime. So I think let's start normalizing it from the very beginning, from the time women are studying in institutes, knowing that these are challenges they're going to face. And then, of course, apart from normalizing it, is also, I would say, what platforms like you are doing today, trying to bring more awareness or build that awareness around it. And of course, there's also that one is having that mental mindset, and one is when organizations are able to also understand it. So please know also that statistics show that women who come back after a break, after the initial 2 or 3 years, they turn out to be even more productive than they were earlier. So, I think to build a greater sensitivity around gender hiring, and especially hiring women who've been on a break, generally the tendency is, no, we don't want a woman, after a few years, you're going to get married and have a baby. Or even if she comes back after work, she'll have one foot in her home. That's okay,
Right.
as long as she's delivering. So why
Exactly.
not help not have that one foot in the home? So have more programs for women, give them that support. I know organizations which may have a creche, to take care of women who have young children. And believe me, it's not that women are spending all the time in the creche. In fact, they are even more aware and mindful of the fact that they have their work is their first priority. So let's just make it easier for them. Let's not just be tearing women apart and forcing them to choose. allowing them that space, where they can deliver their best. And at the same time, let's just ease that burden of guilt that we put on them.
Absolutely. And I think we need to also, identify the fact that the females are the ones who are often multitasking, crisis management at home. So they are so good at so many of these soft skills, which are very critical when, they're handling critical projects at work as well.
Yeah.
So
See, I think,
these
Priya, you've been in hiring. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I think you've been in hiring. So
Yes.
you would know how much weightage does an organization give to soft skills.
Yeah.
And you would also know that these soft skills are very, very crucial at the
Very,
workplace.
very crucial. Yes, it's
So
absolutely.
if you're talking about productivity, these are the skills which really come to the fore at that time. So I think companies to be able to design, their hiring, I would say, indices accordingly.
Yeah.
And I think even giving everyone a chance. So I think let's just look at the statistics. I know women who have done extremely well. And in fact, most of the women I've seen who have stuck around, after returning back from work, are in fact doing extremely well today.
We've also seen, around people, females especially working, they have challenges at home, at work, everything, but the sincerity with which they deliver and, timely delivery despite going through the, whatever the troubles at personal front or professional front, the sincerity with which they deliver, because they are putting their heart and soul to it. For the whatever job they are taking, so they take it very, very seriously. That I have seen. So once you give an opportunity to somebody who is actually very passionate about coming back to work and whatever, whether it's a creative side or technical side, whatever work they are interested in, I've seen that they put in their best. And I don't think we are talking about compromising on the quality or the quantity of work here. We are talking about, no compromise there at all, but giving a chance to, women who's wanting to come back to the workforce with some support.
Absolutely.
With some support.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So, but having said that, not all career breaks are same. So there in some career breaks, like somebody who's been in a tech, job, as you rightly said, sometimes that skill itself goes, is no longer used in the market. Vis-a-vis somebody who's been in a creative, role. So for them to start off, I mean, again, we go back to the same thing. I probably the kind of research they need to do, what they want to do. So what is your suggestion to females like that, somebody who's been into tech field wanting to start again, or creative for that matter, and also at the same time somebody who's taken a career break at the beginning of the career, and somebody who's worked maybe 5-10 years and then taken a career break. So there is a difference when they are coming
Absolutely.
back. So what are your views there, and how what would it be your suggestion there,
See,
recommendation?
especially if you are coming back to the, remember one thing, like I said, you have to be prepared for the workspace when you come. So you have to be prepared in terms of your skills. You have to be prepared in terms of your qualifications. You have to have that mental mindset. So you have to be able to, especially when you're talking about upskilling. While there
Yeah.
are many platforms today available for upskilling, the fact is a lot of time we don't know what are the exact courses which we should take, which will help us professionally. So one is again, like I said, your peer network, your support, the community support you have, where you're reaching out to women who've been in this field and who can guide you, mentors who can guide you. Also, I think many organizations these days have returnship programs where they help women know which programs to apply for and how to upskill. So I think organizations themselves can look after these learning and development needs.
Right.
That if you are looking for someone and you see they have a certain set of skills, they have the experience, the organization knows this role might be redundant in a few years. So why not help this person and guide them towards the right program where they can be an asset and also grow alongside. So I think these L&D departments can play a huge role. The company driven or the company led upskilling programs or guiding women towards that. Or
Yeah.
even women's platforms can run, you could say, have content on the kind of upskilling programs that are actually professionally viable.
Right.
So I think that is very important, is if you are investing in it, please invest in something which you know will be a professional asset for you. Don't just do programs for the sake of it.
Sake of it.
So one's own research plus the support and the guided support that one gets, and I think organizations themselves. So there are many organizations which have wonderful returnship programs. And in fact, a part of their returnship programs is the fact that they are also suggesting skilling programs or putting women through upskilling programs, especially in tech. Please also know, even if you're in the creative field, while you may feel that in the creative field, okay, I don't need those skills, but even today, a lot of creation, content creation, even other kind of graphic designing, if you're doing it, a lot of it is led by tech.
Right.
So whatever you do, if you are lacking in terms of tech skills, please know you're not workspace ready. So we have to prepare ourselves. These are things we need to do. In fact, I would even suggest to women that go back, brush up your Excel skills, brush
Right.
up these basic things are needed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brush up these skills and then get in touch with others to see in your field what is most relevant right now.
Right. So personalized support is basically required at the organization level to ensure that the program is a success. The returnship program
Yes.
for the individual is a success.
Personal support, and then also if you're not in any returnship program, also like I said, reach out to communities, into peer groups, reach out to other women, reach out in professional networks.
Mm.
Don't be afraid to ask, don't be afraid to reach out.
Yeah, I
People are
think
always willing to help someone.
yeah. Obviously, if you ask for help, there are always a lot of people who are available
Yes.
to help and support. And internally also, not just the peers, and as you said, the LA department plays a key role. We should be able to identify such employees in the system and help them grow over a period of time. So probably we can chart out a path, and also like we were discussing, an external agency can be hired to see that how can they also support in the growth of these women who are starting on the internship program. But again, coming back to this thing, there are also we've seen that there are biases, internally against the females who are seeking promotions or leadership roles and everything. So from that point of view, what are your views? How can companies work towards ensuring that the journey for these women who join after a break do not face any kind of biases in the system?
I think here, because see, those hiring biases are there. The hiring structure, the access to resources is there. The percentage of, so this is where I feel AI really plays a role. Do you have that data? What does your data say? You should be able to take a look back at, and this is where this AI generated data on, it has a potential to really mitigate these corporate gender and leadership gaps. And this
Right.
can help in removing these biases in recruiting, in evaluation and promotion decisions. So I think this is where you must bring in that data, because this can also help in when you're when you're intervening, when you're in everyday interactions, which
Mhm.
can affect that employee sense of inclusion.
Right.
So when you are equipped with that data, you know you are able to take those decisions so that the women you have as a
Mhm.
part of your workforce can increase their impact and even expand the influence. And please, I think we should also understand that every country which has greater labor force participation, especially companies which have inclusive programs of women, which help women get back into the labor force, it has been seen that the productivity is far higher, the economy is thriving.
Mhm.
So, when you're investing in women, you are investing in productivity. Please understand that.
So, talking about the re-entry of women, in the
Yes.
workforce. So, would you be able to share any experiences, or you've seen any, good programs where the re-entry program, how it can be structured for them, or how it looks like, how it should be ideally, so that it can cater to women at all career levels, irrespective of whether they're starting the beginning or mid path, or even at leadership for that matter.
So, in fact, I'd just like to go back to Shirot itself, which has a program called MAS. a program for women looking for work from home roles, especially women are looking to return back to the workplace and who are looking for flexibility and who are looking for greater roles. So where they actually do a proper assessment. So there's a assessment for women to see where they actually fit. Women are trained around soft skills, around basics like G Suite, internet surfing, and that is how they have also built an ecosystem, to see where the women can fit in. So they have the support where they see where this woman can fit in, which role they can fit in, and then they in further help them, get hired by companies fit in best. Also, they keep a track if the person is feeling stuck. They offer support to help them out.
Right.
It has been actually been seen that if these women survive 3 months and their return back to work is very successful.
Successful.
And believe me, statistics show that 85% stay. So there's just about that 15 to 20% which is going to drop out when the support is there. Apart from that, there are organizations like, so a lot of organizations also offering internship roles.
Right.
What we talked about, professional internship. For example, Amazon has a paid 16-week internship program.
Okay.
If you do well, you get a full-time job offer.
Okay.
Similarly, companies, there are organizations like, I think Goldman Sachs, SAP, they all have a 12-week internship program, a paid internship. And after that, they get a full-time job offer at the end of the program. So there are many organizations which are offering these kind of internships to ease women back into the workspace. Many organizations I know are also offering, proper skill development. They are offering them leadership training. They're offering them mentorship. They're even offering them networking opportunities. So that is a part of the returnship program. So I think when companies are able to design their returnship, so returnship doesn't mean they're going to hire women who are looking to return back if they make the grade. When I have hired them, how am I going to help them navigate it?
Right.
How am I going to help them build on it? So believe me when I say most internship programs have a success rate which is pretty high. They're just about 20% of women who drop out. A lot of them are able to make the grade again.
So I think it's an overall, support that the organization can provide. At the same time, the individual's contribution towards making it a success. So
Absolutely.
It's
See,
both.
Priya, I've always said it begins with the individual's own determination to contribute.
Absolutely.
With them absolutely working on their own professionalism, working on their own skills. And then there are many organizations that are going to help take you forward.
Right.
So at the end of the day, get your act together, get to the right place. And I have seen mostly when you get your act together, you will get to the right place.
Yeah. And you also spoke about networking. I think that is very, very crucial. Even
crucial.
during the career break and after that also, when you are trying to reach out to people so that they are able to help you and help you reach to the right place, and such internship programs, if you're able to get through, then I think it's much easier. Then the journey ahead is much easier.
Yes. So always I tell women who are thinking, if the women come to us and say we are thinking of taking a career break, we tell them don't just put away your work.
Right.
Keep in touch with your professional colleagues. Keep in touch with your people in a professional network. Don't drop off professional networks at all. The tendency generally for women is, when they switch roles, they completely switch their circle.
Right.
So I think that is where they tend to slip up.
Right.
If you have a circle which is happy not working, you are going to be happy not working, and you're going to find it more difficult to get back.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also, in the returnship programs, we also spoke about a while back about reverse mentorship, where the younger employees, they teach the returning women about the new technologies, because obviously, to help them get back to the current style. So how would you, want you, because you yourself shared your experience where you were helped.
Yes.
Why not share that?
Yes, I would like to go back to it. So for the longest time, when I joined back, what I was really lacking with the tech skills, even though I'm not from a technical background, but you need those skills. And what I would do is I would identify one person who seemed very competent. I would just sit next to them and say, can I disturb you for 10 minutes? Can you help me through this? and most people would help.
Yeah.
Most of the youngsters would help. So I think there's nothing wrong, especially this is for smaller organizations. People are returning back to especially startups. Maybe they can have something like a support hour
Right.
where the younger ones, especially the ones who are very technically capable, offer maybe half an hour of support that they are ready to give the professional interns to let them catch up with what is
Right.
the latest terminology, what is the latest the tech being used for that particular role that they are going to be in. So I think that really helps. In
That
fact,
really
that is what how I amped up my own tech skills.
helps.
So I practically didn't know how to even make a PowerPoint presentation or even
Okay.
navigate Excel.
Mhm.
I learned it all through this support of youngsters around the workplace.
So I think it not just helps you to learn the technical aspects of the work, but in terms of making that women comfortable in the workspace also. Because earlier when we spoke about this lack of confidence with people supporting and even the younger staff helping women who has experience but has come back after a career break, it'll help that. I mean, it'll build a beautiful culture of synergy, working on a project together irrespective of the experiences, learning, because obviously the woman who's come back from a career break also has a lot to offer in terms of the experience. It's just
Yeah.
that technical skills are missing. So I think it's a
So
good
never
synergy.
be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah,
At the
absolutely.
most, you'll hear a no, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah, yeah,
So never be able to ask for help, never be afraid to seek help.
yeah, agree, absolutely. And so we also spoke a lot about AI, how, and that's the buzzword these days in every field, for that matter.
Yeah.
So in many aspects of the
Yeah.
workplace, it is being used. How can it be used to make a re-entry for re-entry more personalized for women?
So I think one is, of course, AI can help you understand how, with your particular skill sets and how, with what you are bringing to the table, what is the best option available for you.
Right.
So one is that, and also it can really these tools can really help also in helping you understand the kind of skills to go for.
Right.
Also, AI can help you if you're looking to even do a career transition.
Mm-hmm.
You feel, okay, this is what I was trained for, but I'm not very happy, I want another role. So AI can
Right.
really help you navigate and know what are the steps you need to take to make that career switch. So
Right.
there are many these generative models which can be really used as collaborative tools wherever you want to go.
Right.
Yeah. So also I think it can help you even understand how soon your role might be redundant.
Right.
So I think a lot of people, especially suppose you are in the legal field,
Right.
you can understand that there are many roles, which are going to be redundant now because of
Mm-hmm.
AI. So really being able to, plan your career better.
Right.
It can really help you understand, especially if you're looking for a long haul now
Right.
after the break. So it can help you plan things better.
Right. And data one side, then we are looking at how self-driven we are, and we are very interested in pursuing something else and all that. On all these, there are certain policies also probably in companies that can support women, family friendly for policies, so that women can balance the family responsibilities at the same time, without any hitch
Yeah, so
for
one, of
family.
course, is like I said, yeah. So in fact, one of the most valuable team members now, when she joined in, she came from a market research background,
Okay.
and she joined in with her daughter was barely a year old. So we had a childcare room in our office, and she used to come with her, her support, her domestic support for the childcare worker, caretaker, carrying all her essentials, and she used to structure her child's day in the childcare center while working in office. Today,
Right.
she's able to contribute a lot more because her daughter is now grown up in school. And I think those years of growing up around working women and in an office, she has grown up to be far more independent than most. Great. So I
Right.
think that, just examples apart, I think proper childcare. So there should be that number one, offering women more flexibility, more chances for work from home.
Right.
More chances for other roles that they can do.
Right.
Also, childcare facilities. If the office can offer a creche, nothing like it. We were not a large organization, but still we could pull out a childcare room.
Right.
So I think it's just the mindset which needs to change. You can offer someone a bit of support and still, have women be very contributive members of the team.
Right.
And when we are coming to that, if I may even talk about it, Priya, I'd really like to talk about the kind of counseling support organizations can also, provide, because that is very close to my heart.
Right.
So if, you can have an in-house counselor, nothing like it.
Right.
We had an in-house counselor, and team members were told it's absolutely confidential if you want to go and have a talk with them.
Mhm.
Many organizations have a tie-up with mental health platforms,
Right. Yes.
wherein they offer confidential support to each team member,
Right.
and whatever pain points that they have are taken care of. One could also, tie up with platforms which are offering, a counseling helpline for organizations. But I think this kind of emotional support is very required,
Very.
because that is what women need, especially when they're coming back after a break. It may seem like a lot when you're talking about it for an hour, but believe me, when you put it into practice, when you take these small steps, it's very, very easy to navigate and take care of. It's not like a lot.
And honestly, I've also seen, examples where how beautifully, despite these challenges, women are able to contribute to such a great level, to the growth of the organization. When we provide such support, I mean, it builds such a beautiful culture in the organization of, it's like a beautiful feeling, like it's like home away from home kind of a thing. And people, they stay for a longer period of
Yeah.
time.
No,
Yeah.
it leads to a lot of loyalty.
Loyalty, exactly.
The brand loyalty is there, the company loyalty increases. It leads to a happier workspace,
Right.
and it leads to more productive,
Absolutely. Happy
employees.
employees are more productive anyway.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And such an employee is going to think 10 times, that I have such a great environment from which I'm functioning, the kind of support I get. Not only are they able to put in their best, but the loyalty is magnified. They really want to give back also.
Feedback also. So that's beautiful. So from your experience, any example you would want to quote that where you had a difficult time when you came through it during your internship after you started working from a career break.
I think the greatest difficulty I faced was initially I found it very difficult to navigate my way around. So I was fortunate in the sense I didn't go into a structured role. I was
Okay.
allowed to pick where I wanted to go.
Mhm.
So I, of course, went first into the counseling. We helped set up the counseling helpline because that is what I was trained for. And
Mhm.
then I also asked, so I said, okay, let me also experiment. If I need to really, grow, I need to experiment. So I
Right.
asked, can I also, be with the HR team for a bit? Can I
Mhm.
also
Okay.
try to test, how good my HR skills are? So we were allowed, that. And then I realized HR is really not my cup of tea.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that is how, and if you are willing to grow, invest in yourself, invest in the organization, believe me, you will find your sweet spot. So I think for me, the greatest difficulty was being able to find my sweet spot. And at the same time, not get into a comfort zone. So that is one thing I think we always need to be very wary of, is not going into a comfort zone. And especially, I guess when you're navigating a lot in your life, you're only looking for a comfort zone to be able to reach. So I think that is where we really need to pull up ourselves.
Absolutely. So I would request the audience, in case they have questions, they can put up in the chat, because we are almost at the last leg of the discussion. This is something, I mean, so close to my heart. So many females approach us also, whether, I mean, from recruitment background also, who've been working as a consultant for long, then they had to take career break. And career breaks are also not just like maternity breaks or extended maternity breaks. There are reasons, there are, some sometimes separation cases where they need to take a break, where they're emotionally drained, so they take a break, then they want to come back. Then there are people who are taking care of their aging parents, so they want to be around. So I think company policies also, if they are mindful of these needs of the women who are returning to work, would also be helpful, like crèche and childcare and all those facilities are, I mean, that is a part and parcel. But other than that also, I feel that there are needs that need to be taken care of by the companies.
Yeah, I know. See, I basically, Priya, I feel if you have an employee who's very productive, if you know the employee is professional, if you know they're going to deliver, you will allow them flexibility, because you
Right.
know at the end of the day they will deliver. And I think even when you are, it's not impossible. It may be difficult. I have aged parents that I have to take care of, but
Mhm.
my role allows me certain flexibility. So as long as I'm not really compromising on the deliverables,
Right.
I'm making sure that I am delivering at the right time, in the right pace, I think even the organization is going to do its bit. And it's not impossible.
Yeah, so underlining statement here at every point, we would want to make it clear that women returning to work are not asking for compromise in terms of, again, quality or quantity of
Yes.
work. There is no compromise there whatsoever. It's just that some flexibility which is provided by the companies will make their life a little easier, help them balance, the personal and professional. That's the
Yes.
only, expectations and ask. So we have few questions,
Yes.
Monica, that some people have asked. So just read them out for you. Uh, we sometimes feel pulled between family and career demands. How can we approach work life balance in a sustainable way without sacrificing career growth? That's the first question.
So I think it's a difficult conversation, but we need to have this conversation both with the family and at the workplace. With the family, telling them why you need to be there, the role you are playing, and I think also in helping resource allocation. So if you can divide the household chores, if you can divide the time, and I think one can make a go of it.
Right.
One, of course, does need to work a lot on time management
Yes.
and, like I said, organizing your day. So the better you are organized, the better you have in terms of time management. And I often tell women, don't be scared to have a time planner.
Right.
You may not stick to the time, but it will help you at least balance out your day.
Exactly.
If you're finding it very difficult, don't be scared to have that conversation at the workplace. Talk to your HR, on how you can take time off. And if you can't stay late, it is absolutely impossible for you to stay late at work, or that if you cannot work on weekends, please have that conversation with them. Know what is it that they expect so that you can deliver without compromising on your quality time or your family life.
Family life. Exactly.
So,
I think planning is very, very crucial. I've seen that.
very crucial.
Very crucial. Yeah.
So you can't go about it in a haphazard way, and you can't ignore any. You can't ignore your family, and you can't ignore the workplace either. So I also say have the conversation at both places.
Right.
You will get that. And also, I think a lot of times we are afraid to delegate, especially when
Exactly.
you go into a managerial role. We want to keep that control.
Control.
Know what all you can delegate. And even work wise, have a work planner. You know,
Right.
the important tasks. So they are these work models, also organizational models. The important, crucial tasks, important ones which can be delayed, the mundane ones which are crucial, mundane ones which can be delayed.
Right.
So accordingly, structure it all around,
Right.
and always, always keep some time for yourself.
Yeah, very important. Me time
Very
is very important. I should not compromise. Absolutely. And I think it's with women, it's like they continuously go on that guilt trip if they have left the child, a little, they go reach a little, late home, then they are guilty, or they have to work on the weekend, then they are guilty. I think they will also have to train themselves that this is all part and parcel, and it is okay. You're not compromising on the important aspects of your maybe child care, or the parents you are to
Absolutely.
take care of. Just this
Absolutely.
is part and parcel, so it should be okay. And then one has to deal with it, and one has to train the mind, I think, for
Yeah.
it over a
Also,
period
Priya,
of
I've
time.
seen,
And
women, and I've seen my own example. When I was working vis-a-vis, when I was not working, your children learn to become more disciplined.
disciplined, yeah,
And
and
they,
independent, yeah, very
yes,
independent.
your spouses become more disciplined.
Agree, absolutely. And I've also seen when you initially said it's the initial, like if they are able to survive the initial 3 months, then they are, bound to stick for long, because
Yes.
it's the initial few days you're trying to figure out how you will manage both. What could be the challenges? Where are the days when you are required at work, and there is more work. So it's initial 2-3 months you're able to figure out those things, and it's if you are able to survive that and plan well during that time, then I think it's that journey ahead is not that difficult, I would
Yes,
say.
absolutely.
It's the
Yeah,
initial few days that you have to, I mean, you can feel a little overburdened and managing multiple things and all that, which is all part and parcel. But after that, things settle down, I feel. It's You have to give it time. It's not like overnight.
absolutely.
You have to give it time, otherwise
Absolutely.
it won't work. Yeah. I'll move into the next question. And there are a lot of females only, I think, asking, how do you stop comparing yourself to your peers who seem ahead in terms of pay and designation because they didn't take a career break? This is something we all were also discussing a while back, because this is again, you have taken a career break, you are somewhere, and someone with lesser experience is ahead. So there is all often this comparison at the back of the mind. So how do we tune ourselves?
It's difficult. It is difficult, especially if you know someone, you seem to be putting in more work, which you will have to if you've come
Hmm.
after a break, and yet someone seems to be paid better.
Yeah.
So you have to be your own standard.
Right.
So look for fulfillment within your own sphere. You have to start looking at, because the more you compare, the unhappier you're going to be.
Exactly.
So best is see what can I do to be the best version of myself in terms of my skills, in terms of in closing the pay gap. What are the things I can do? But obviously, I cannot be at the same level.
Right.
Maybe this person planned better, they had the support, they could come back in 2 years. It's taken me 5 years, or it's taken me 10 years, or it's taken me 15 years, which is okay. But I am where I am. And let me see the best I can grow from here.
Yes. Yeah.
So you will slowly close it.
Right.
You can also, if it's in terms of finances, you can
Right.
even look at dual sources of income. You can look for, other things that you can do on the side, maybe what a freelancing task you can do. If all that is very difficult, I think it's okay to compare yourself to what you were 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So you have to set your own standards.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's really nothing for it. Only compare if that motivates you,
Yeah.
if it is inspiring you. If it is bringing you down, then I think the comparison is odious.
Yeah.
But
I
if it,
agree. Yeah. Just to add to that, I feel even if you are, you had not taken a career break, there would be somebody who is ahead of you, somebody behind you, somebody at the same level. So this is endless. So comparing is actually it's not worth it for your own sanity. I think it's better
yes,
to kind of work on your individual self and
yeah.
grow.
Your mental health is most important.
Most
And
important.
your level of satisfaction.
Right.
So I think here what women often miss on doing is giving themselves a pat on the back.
Yeah.
So please be proud of every step you've taken, every achievement you've made, and how far you have come. That really helps. So
We
it
don't
will help you build a really good sense of self,
absolutely. We don't need validation from outside. I think our own
inner
self.
validation. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, inner validation. Absolutely. So someone is asking. So how to overcome underconfidence and let go of fear of fitting in. So I think these are all what we discussed in the beginning of our discussion, that the self confidence part or how to fit in and all that. These are the fears that are there when they start off. So I think how should they try and overcome this?
So one is that women are naturally, attuned to question themselves,
Yeah,
to question their own sense of self, their self-esteem, which often takes a hit.
right.
Because, yeah, we are looking always for validation from others.
Others agree.
So I think that that fear is very natural. Please know, anyone who's in a new situation will feel the fear. So I would say, firstly, embrace your fear. Acknowledge it, embrace it, and then maybe write down, what can I do about it?
Okay,
So instead of stopping yourself at the fear, what you should be doing is the steps you can take to overcome it.
right,
Okay, I have the fear, I acknowledge it. Now, what can I do to overcome it? A, B, C, D, and go about it.
right,
So of course, again, like I said, that underconfidence is there. Underconfidence, the best way to combat underconfidence is achievement.
right.
The more you will learn, the more you will grow, the more you will achieve. So I said, congratulate, like I say, congratulate yourself on every small achievement. That will help you build your confidence.
Yeah,
So even I think for women who are not working, I often tell them, you've tried out a new dish, it's come out well, congratulate yourself.
yeah, absolutely.
So, the more you grow in terms of you grow your skills, your talents, the more confident you will be. And I mean, when I see a lot of women entrepreneurs,
Mm,
some are in their 60s when they started a business.
yeah,
That is what they say, that I was so underconfident, I couldn't talk in front of even two people. And here I am today addressing an audience of 100 people.
yeah,
So your achievements help you build the confidence.
right.
So start with small achievements and congratulating yourself on your achievements.
And again, it's a journey. It's not like instant. It's not in 2 days you'll achieve. It will take
Yes,
time. You have to give it time.
yes.
So we're coming to the end, of the discussion, Monica. So what would be your, last note to all the women, who are looking forward to join the workforce after a break? What would you want to tell as a,
I
you
think
know,
quite simply, put yourself out there. And like I said again, don't be afraid to take the first step. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
right,
Because often when women say, where do I start from? I always say, start from where you are.
right,
Take the first step, and the next, and the next, and the next step will follow.
right.
So I think there's that word, the journey of 1,000 steps begins with the first step.
First step,
Yes.
absolutely. Yeah.
So please take that first step. Reach out. Like I said, I mean, this is such a great platform, and what we have done today, and I'm sure Founded has a lot of content around, all these topics.
Yes,
So please know, there are a lot of career helplines. There are a lot of counselors you can approach. There are a lot of platforms, women's platforms that you can approach. Where you can get started.
got it.
So just get started.
Let's get started. Absolutely. Lovely. Thank you so much, Monica, for sharing your journey and helping us, with an envision a more inclusive and supportive look forward to, for the returning professionals. We're so thankful for you to have taken out time. And I'm sure the listeners had a lot of good takeaways from the discussion today. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Priya, for having me. And I really enjoyed this discussion. And thank you for hosting such an amazing, program. I think all the talks that you've had have been splendid.
Yeah, this is something very close to the heart of founded diversity inclusivity. So we're very
Yes.
thankful for all our, speakers who have come on the forum, and so very very thankful to you as well, Monica. Thank you.
Thank you, and bye bye.